If you own a home or garage anywhere in Los Angeles or Southern California, this video is exactly for you. Today, you'll see what design was proposed for this garage based on the client's budget. We'll break down why the total renovation cost came out to $1,180. You'll learn how the client lost $125 due to a single avoidable mistake. And in our recurring segment, Gold in the Garage, we'll hunt down the most valuable hidden item in the space and see if it can offset part of the renovation costs. I got another message from a subscriber who needed a design and a full materials budget. Simple request, but the details made it interesting. The requirements were standard as the client was looking for a budget DIY renovation. His main goal was to remodel the garage walls and floor himself. The ceiling remained unchanged, and the dimensions of the space were 20 by 23 feet. The ceiling height was 10 feet, which is pretty standard for these properties. Accurately measured dimensions help estimate the required amount of paint much more precisely. The photos sent over showed a bright garage space with unfinished work. In the back of the room, there was a wooden workbench and metal shelving units with boxes. Car tires, an old bicycle, wooden boards, and paint cans were scattered around. Before any design work could begin, the space had to be completely emptied out. You can't plan what you can't see. Moving everything out gave us a much clearer picture. An empty space immediately provides a better understanding of the overall scope of work. It's best to sort old items right away, either to sell or discard. Then, we could comfortably move on to developing a suitable design option. The client's request included light-colored walls and a slightly darker floor. I considered various options, combined different colors, and even added furniture. However, the final materials budget was strictly capped at $1,000. The client planned to do all the renovation and finishing work entirely on his own. Which option we ended up choosing, you'll find out further in this video. The key here isn't just a pretty picture, but executing the proper sequence of steps. Sticking to the technology always guarantees a great result upon completion. After clearing the room, we bought the basic supplies for the first phase. We got rollers, brushes, protective film, sandpaper, a bucket, and a putty mixer. This initial kit of tools and consumables cost about $203. Quality supplies make all subsequent steps significantly easier. With everything bought, we thoroughly sanded all the walls to remove any drywall compound sags. Then, we spotted small dents and primed them locally with a brush before patching. We primed only the defect area and about an 8-inch radius around it. After waiting an hour, we mixed the compound according to the instructions and filled the dents. Well-patched defects become completely invisible after painting. Spot patching saves both compound and time. We let the material dry completely, sometimes repeating the process to achieve a perfectly smooth finish with the drywall. On the second day, we sanded all the patched areas smooth. During this time, you can order a floor sander and crack filler liquid. All dusty work must strictly be done at this early stage. The rental for this special floor sander was estimated at around $100 in the budget. This is where the client made an avoidable mistake that cost him $125. The floor sander was delivered to the site, but he didn't use it on time. As a result, $95 for the rental and $30 for delivery were completely wasted. Plan your schedule carefully when doing DIY renovations. Always organize your time before renting equipment. Any delays with rented tools lead to wasted money. And in Los Angeles, those costs add up fast. After finishing the sanding and dirty work, we thoroughly vacuumed all the dust from the garage. We partially primed the floor joints and filled the cracks with a specialized repair material. Now we were fully ready to start the main wall finishing. We purchased the third batch of materials, which included a high-quality primer and interior paint. All these wall materials cost the client approximately $337. Using a roller, we evenly primed all the walls according to building standards. We left the primer to dry completely before applying the first coat of paint to the walls. When painting, be sure to close all windows and doors to prevent drafts. Even application ensures there are no dark patches after drying. Paint each wall from corner to corner without breaks to avoid lap marks. A good primer reduces overall paint consumption during application. After the first coat, we allowed the surface to dry for the required number of hours. Once the second coat was applied, we left the walls to dry completely. I recommend completing all painting work in a single day. Apply the first coat in the morning, takes 3 to 4 hours, let it dry for 4 to 5 hours, and then apply the second coat, which will dry overnight. Garages in Los Angeles tend to have their own quirks. Temperature swings, humidity, and older construction all play a role. Knowing that upfront saves you time and money. The next day, we bought $306 worth of floor materials. But first, let's dive into our popular segment, Gold in the Garage. In the photos provided, I spotted a professional welder suitable for garage work. Brand new on Amazon, a welder like this costs around $370 to $400. It can be resold on the secondary market for about $250. Taking a few minutes to check what you already have sitting in the garage can easily fund part of your renovation. Don't skip this step. In many old garages in Los Angeles, you can find really useful tools and equipment. Selling this welder would cover only about a quarter of your total renovation costs. Renting it out for passive income might actually be much more profitable. According to the owner, he received this tool to settle an old debt. In upcoming videos, I'll show you garage finds that fully paid off the material costs, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Back to the floor, we vacuumed the concrete once more and applied a special primer. After 4 hours, we applied the first coat of wear-resistant paint and waited 12 hours. Respecting the drying process protects the coating from wearing out quickly. As a result, we got white walls and a darker floor, exactly as requested. You can always pick out material colors on the Home Depot website to match your style. The main thing is to clearly understand the correct sequence of work for a specific space. A clean, well-finished garage in Los Angeles can add real value to your property, and in this market, every dollar counts. Let's do the math. The client spent $960 on materials, excluding delivery. He also paid $50 for my design project and $170 for extra expenses. The grand total was $1,180. Doing a smart DIY renovation saved him at least $2,000, which is what he would have had to pay a hired crew for this work. Subscribe so you don't miss the next project, and hit like if this breakdown saved you time or money. See you in the next one.